Hello everybody, it is Emery48 here, and today's video is on Star Wars Darth Plagueis Part 1. There will be 3 separate videos for the novel Darth Plagueis, as there are 3 separate parts. This book is by James Luceno and takes place in 67 BBY, which is 15 years after Dooku Jedi Lost. This book returns us to the Star Wars Legends timeline for a little while. Found this book as an ebook for $9. Prologue: Darth Plagueis dies by Darth Sidious's advance into Sith Lord. Now this is a little bit behind where the book actually takes place. So part 1, enlistment, or a little ahead. Yeah. Duh. This is a little ahead, so, of where the book takes place. Part 1, Enlistment, 67 to 65 years before the Battle of Yavin. Chapter 1, The Underworld. Plagueis and his master Tenebris went to a secret Cortosis mine on Baldemnik, the same Bane mined in his youth. The droid, which was given to them by Subtext Mining, was ignoring their instructions and digging into a gas that explodes under heat. While Plagueis and Tenebris were escaping, Plagueis killed Tenebris and took control of the Sith. Chapter 2, The Inner Landscape. Plagueis left Tenebris' dead body and their destroyed ship on foot towards the spaceport on Baldemnik. Plagueis traveled at night to not attract attention. While resting during the day, Plagueis thought he was enduring a similar feeling Bane had of past Sith Lords. Sometimes those one had killed haunted him in a way. Plagueis made it to the spaceport. After an hour of searching, he chose the Woebegone, a ship from Ord Mantell and captained by Ellen Law. It was the one Plagueis chose as his escape from Baldemnik. Chapter 3, Woebegone. The crew of the Woebegone boarded. One of the cargo bay temperatures was too cold. When the pilot and navigator, Blur and Semisali, showed Law, they checked the camera, seeing someone inside. The crew confronted Plagueis. He asked for a meeting alone with Law. Plagueis has offered to pay out a reward for his delivery to his home planet of Moonlist, and he will reimburse them for any cargo he damaged by affecting the temperature. The crew has come up with an offer for Law to bring to Plagueis. They want to check with Baldemnik to see if he is wanted. If not, they will negotiate a price to bring him to Ithor, closer to Moonlist than Baldemnik is. Ithor is also the Woebegone's next stop. Plagueis did not want Law and her crew to contact Baldemnik authorities. He told Law not to draw, but the warning was not going to stop her. Chapter 4, The Meaning of Death. Plagueis allowed the crew time to gather their weapons, then killed all of them. Plagueis studied the bodies of the dead and dying. He then had the droid 114D set coordinates based off of his communicator. Then 114D would bring him food and tend to his wounds. The Woebegone has arrived at a space station. Plagueis, called Magister Damask, has demanded the Woebegone be sealed and slagged. He has also requested a piloted ship to bring him to Moonlist. Chapter 5, Homecoming. Larsh Hill greeted Plagueis, known as Damask to everyone other than Tenebris, upon his arrival. They are heading to a gathering Damask was scheduled to be present at. Damask wants Hill to look into securing land and mining permits on Baldemnik. Plagueis brought 114D on a tour of his home. It included a large library with works from all over the galaxy, including Sith writings. There was also a laboratory where Plagueis is conducting experiments. Plagueis wants 114D to download and scan all of the information in the library, with an end goal of finding a way to extend Plagueis' life to immortality. The technique of essence transfer, something Bane tried to use to continue his life in another body, has been lost for generations of the Sith and is no longer possible. Chapter 6, The Hunter's Moon. A branch of the Hutts asked Damask for a loan to start up business on Tatooine, including the creation of a pod race course. The head of Subtext Mining told Damask about a plasma reservoir on Naboo that has not yet been tapped into. Damask is having the subtext mining people sent to the remote planet in the Tingle Arm in case he needs their help again. Damask met with other groups and senators, although the other conversations had much less important topics. Tenebris had been secretly training another apprentice, Venomous. Venomous came to kill Plagueis under Tenebris's instruction. Venomous hadn't felt Tenebris's death through the Force. Plagueis defeated Venomous and fed him a poisonous flower, but promised to keep him alive. Plagueis will probably use Venomous for more experiments. Chapter 7. There where they used to stand. Tenebris had gotten Damask's parents together to have a child to be his apprentice, as their minor Force sense would likely lead to a child strong in the Force. After growing up on the ice planet of Maijito, Higo Damask was handed over to Tenebris to become his apprentice. Chapter 8. Victims of their own device. Plagueis began searching the 6 beings strong in the Force, noted down by Venomous. 3 of them had died already. Plagueis tracked the first to a cantina in Liana City, which is the heart of the remote Tion cluster. The species of the person in the casino on Liana City was different to the species Venomous had written down. Plagueis and 114D think the real species could be Shiidu, a skin shifter. Plagueis and 114D caught up with the Shiidu after he left the casino. The Shiidu was stealing from the casino and paying the money to Karad Santh, principal owner of the Santh Sinar Technologies. Plagueis had killed his father, giving him his position in the company. Since the death, Karad had started drinking and gambling, owing the Black Sun Vigos millions. They are threatening to go public, which is why the Shiidu is using the Force to steal from the casino. Plagueis does not like this, as the Sanths are an enemy of the Sith, making the Shiidu an enemy as well. Plagueis wants him to use his Force talents for himself so he can escape before the gambling authorities find out about his part in the ordeal. Plagueis arrived on Saliukami in search for the next name on Venomous's list, a prophet from the Inner Rim. Plagueis left 114D on Mirth to have as low of a profile as possible. Plagueis listened to the prophet and Akachi speak to a crowd. She had envisioned the Clone Wars, but her message was like that of the Brotherhood of Darkness and negative for the Sith. Plagueis killed her discreetly, panicking her followers. Plagueis and 114D went to Bedlam in search of Nat Lair, another name on Venomous's list. It appears Venomous helped Lair escape the mental facility. A news report from Abraxan sounded just like what Lair was in the facility for. The Jedi are also looking for Lair because of his Force ability. The Jedi have sent Master Nikata and his Padawan Lobuk to Abraxan to search for the Nautolin strong in the Force. Plagueis and the Jedi exchanged a few words outside of a market, Plagueis hiding his Sith identity from the Jedi. Plagueis drew out the Nautolin. He told the Nautolin that he was Venomous's master. The Jedi then approached in their skimmer. Plagueis told the Nautolin to prove himself by killing the Jedi. The Nautolin failed to prove himself. Chapter 9. Untapped Reserves. Damask and his advisors were virtually meeting with Varuna, a politician from Naboo. Varuna told them of a royal's son, Palpatine, who had leaked negative information about his own family. Damask and his advisors met with T'Palo, a candidate for the throne of Naboo, Varuna, who is T'Palo's choice for governor of Theed, and some of their advisors. Damask gave his pitch for how they would assist Naboo in becoming important players in the galaxy. Plagueis found Palpatine at the university on Naboo and struck up conversation with him. Palpatine has great ambitions for himself and Naboo. He has agreed to be a spy for Damask Holdings and report on his father's group. Palpatine accepted the offer but wanted to strictly report to Damask himself. Damask accepted that deal. Chapter 10. The Cycle of Violence. Damask had another conversation with Palpatine to try and discover the Force in Palpatine. No sooner than Plagueis' departure from Naboo than Palpatine's first transmissions began coming in. Plagueis, joined by Hill, went to Malastare to meet with Pax Team, the leader of the Grand Protectorate. Team is not happy with the dealings of Damask Holding. Damask doesn't really care. Damask has ordered the Sun Guard to retrieve the miners from Tingle Arm, execute them, and deliver them to Subtext Mining's headquarters on Corellia. Consigna Palpatine, the head of House Palpatine, had Damask delivered to his home outside Theed by palace guards upon his arrival on Naboo. Palpatine wants the international banking clan out of Naboo. He also wants Damask to stop communicating with his son. Chapter 11, Avatar of Mortality. Plagueis met with Palpatine at a youth retreat on Chandrila. Palpatine's father took him off Chandrila and was bringing him to Chamel Minor, where he would be away from Damask. Palpatine's whole family was on the ship with him. Palpatine confronted his father and attacked him. Palpatine killed his entire family and all the guards on the ship. He called Damask, who is sending the Sun Guard, to pick him up and dispose of the ship. Plagueis is pleased that Palpatine has opened himself up to the dark side. Palpatine has joined Plagueis in the dark side. Plagueis gave Palpatine the name Sidious. Chapter 12, Seduced by the Dark Side of the Force. Plagueis brought Sidious to the ice planet of Maijito and began teaching Sidious the ways of the dark side. Plagueis was torturing Sidious so he could learn the dark side. Plagueis said it would take a decade. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I enjoyed this first part of the book. We only hear about Plagueis in the movies, and obviously we see a lot of Palpatine in every movie pretty much. So it's cool to see some of his background, and I'm excited to see more of his background and him delving into the dark side in the next part. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.